in child protective services, and they won't give them back to their loving families because they're making money.
This is a legal system that you're going into. And if you don't know the rules, you will be chewed up and spit out.
If I could say anything to a mother who just got their children detained, you're in a crisis. Yeah. Life feels like it's over. The most important thing is regaining custody of your children.
The child welfare system at its core is designed to protect children who need protection, okay? And that's key, is who need protection.
So social workers, out of fear, will remove more children rather than only remove those children that truly need to be removed.
It's okay. It's okay.
This isn't someone stole your car. Someone broke into your house. This is someone took your child, your flesh and blood.
It doesn't say on this order that it was not proven. It says untrue. True. I immediately knew that, okay, well, this ain't over.
Signs? Did I miss them? Did I catch them? At this point, I honestly don't know.
Families only get a finite amount of time to reunify.
I came into this field to help families, not destroy them.
The difference between the criminal system and the child welfare system is substantial. You have more rights as a criminal than you do as a parent.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Georgette Truan. I am the co-host for Fight CPS Real Talk with Ms. G, and I also work for the law office of Vincent Davis. I have my co-host Cassandra, and our guest today. Speak up, baby.
Tavari Richardson.
Tavari, it's very hard to hear you.
Oh. Tavari Richardson.
Yeah. You know what? It's gonna be very hard to understand you, Tavari. But we're gonna give it a try, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna share some stuff with you guys right now, with everybody watching. I need you guys to understand, courage is not the lack of fear; it is acting in spite of it. Okay, it's very important for you guys to understand that. I want you guys also to learn to talk the CPS language. I've gotten this from an attorney, and it took me a while to understand what he was trying to explain to me, but I wrote everything down. So CPS uses key phrases such as indicates, seems, to link, to think, appears, could be, and several others to gain advantage in court. They have different language to use to gain advantage in court. So it is recommended that you learn to use their keywords in your everyday language, so it feels natural to you. Then use them to your advantage on the witness stand. When CPS uses these phrases, it is not an accident. They are well aware of how it looks and sounds to the judge. In most instances, the judge doesn't look at their statement as implication or opinions. Instead, he simply accepts their information as facts. And that is where you are at a disadvantage. Whatever you do, do not lie, but do use their keywords to further your cause. This will confuse them as they are not used to the average everyday person challenging their authority and their methods in court. CPS is used to be supreme over everyone. When they take on another family, example, they must be able to cover themselves, especially when they have done the unspeakable and fabricated stories to make their case and cover their mistakes. It is important to be better prepared than they are. That is your goal, and that will be your saving point. Learn how to deal with CPS. Knowledge is the key. Okay? Knowledge is the key. When they come to your home without a warrant, you have every right not to let them in. However, like I mentioned earlier today, they will oftentimes they will come with a police officer with a badge and a gun, and taser and a uniform to intimidate you. Not necessarily because they're scared of you. No, they just want to intimidate you. So the intimidation part is important to them because that gets you to do whatever they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sign here and you will keep your kids. We're not going to remove your kids. That's bullshit. Do your classes or else we're going to come and take your kids. That's another bullshit because most of our clients have done their damn classes and on and beyond, and they still don't want to give them their kids. So that shit is just like a narcissist giving his victim breadcrumbs to keep them silent temporarily. That's all they're doing. So whatever CPS tells you is the complete opposite. And people don't understand that. People think because they're in investigation phase, they're going to be fine because they're great parents, blah, 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 blah. Everyone fighting for their child is a good parent, by the way.
Okay.
The ones who are not fighting for their children, right? The ones that give up their children because they can't handle them, that was their decision to make. But the ones fighting for their kids are the ones who are victims of CPS. CPS goal is to make money. The whole goal is to make money. They lie and say the child said. Where is the fucking recorder where the child said? How long have you had that 4-year-old interrogate? How long have you been interrogating that 4-year-old to begin with? And then what do you tell the 4-year-old, such as, if you don't say your mom did it, you're not going to see your mom again? And a 4-year-old is so tired. They're not built for this shit. They're not adults. So they're so tired. They're like, okay, fine, mom did it, blah, blah, blah. And then they take that, but they don't go tell the judge what they've done to the 4-year-old to get the 4-year-old to say that. Because all of a sudden, they don't have camera, they don't have nothing to show what exactly happened with the child. And then they go to the parent and say, your son said, your daughter said, no, motherfuckers, you lying. You're lying. The child never said that. But you put shit in the child's head to make the parent look like they're the abusers. Because it fits their agenda. They want the advantage of the incentives that's coming to them. They don't give a fuck if the parent can't sleep all night. They don't give a shit if the parent lost their job because of all the classes they had to do and they had to live in their car. They don't give a fuck about the mother that her heart is torn apart because every time she hears the word mommy in a supermarket, she can't shop. She actually goes to her car and sits there and cries because she can't hear her own child call her mommy. Then all of a sudden, that mother is doing drug classes. That case wasn't even drug related, but they make it drug related. You know why? Oh, you have to take a drug class. But why, bitch? Why? Why if my case was not even about drugs? The mother is testing negative, complete negative, every time negative, negative, negative. Hair follicle is negative, but they still make her do the drug test. I mean, the drug classes. Same thing with fathers. Same thing with fathers. And then they tell the father, go do anger management. Go do parenting class. No, motherfuckers, you need to go do anger management. You need to go do parenting class. You need a fucking psych ward to be locked in there for years to come until you fucking gain some type of normality. Because the way they're behaving, CPS, there is nothing normal about these motherfuckers. Absolutely nothing normal about them. I have a father that called me. I actually told our producer right now, I didn't want to do the show. I have so many calls to make. And I have a father that called me and he said, Georgetta, I've done my classes, me and my wife. I said, what kind of classes have you done? He said, parenting classes, drug classes, domestic violence classes. What else? Some other shit. He was doing a lot of classes. He lost his job. Him and his wife live in their van. Him and his wife lost their fucking job because they can't keep the job and their classes at the same time. And do drug testing every fucking day. Now, I asked him, was there domestic violence? He said, no. I said, okay. Was there abuse? No, no abuse. Then why in the fuck did CPS go to you? There was an anonymous call. What is the anonymous? What did they say the allegations are? He said, Georgette, we still don't know what the allegations are. He contacted the court-appointed attorney. All this happened like maybe a few months ago. So he calls me today to update me. So his court-appointed attorney said this to him. Son of a bitch said this to him. Agree to the allegations, and you're gonna get your children back. I swear, no joke. Yeah. And they do this with everybody. The father was so fucking desperate, and the mother, because they're so tired, and they agreed to the allegations. They agreed to the fucking allegations against them. The allegation states the father threatened to kill the mother. The mother threatened to kill her children. And where did the allegation come from? They still don't know who made the allegations. I asked him, I said, did you get food stamps and cash aid? He said, yes. How long have you guys been getting it? He said, since COVID. So 2 years. So the DPSS worker, that, and the food stamps lady, the Department of Child Services is connected together. So they're the ones who reported her because her kids are beautiful. She really does. They both have beautiful kids. They sent me pictures of their children. And the worker, the DPSS worker, said to her, you have beautiful kids. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, if I can only adopt them.
Yeah. How about when they sit in the back of the courtroom while the trial is going, and they're sitting there laughing, talking about, we hope that the child gets adopted.
Yep.
And I think it's funny, and the caseworker's sitting there laughing about it.
They laugh.
Yeah.
In front of you, in front of the parent, they laugh. And the thing about it is, when he said that to me on the phone, his wife was crying. I can hear her crying, hysterical. And she said, Georgette, she took the phone from him and she said, Georgette, I think it was her that reported us. They're outstanding members of society. They have no drug records. They have no criminal history. The father doesn't even him and his wife never got even a speeding ticket. But life happens. COVID destroyed a lot of people. And they had to resolve to get food stamps and cash aid. There's CEOs that had to get food stamps and cash aid. Everybody had to get food stamps and cash aid. But these motherfuckers designed the system for you to be a number in this motherfucking system, and they giving you food stamps and cash aid, and then you become a number for them to choose who their next victim is going to be. So that's why when I call them demons, they are fucking demons.
The problem is no president has ever spoken on the reform yet. Nobody's ever done anything. You don't even hear about it on the news.
It's hard to understand you, honey. I can't. Your voice is going in and out, and there's no making of what you're saying at all.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to fix my volume.
So, when you guys become a case number, and they want to come to you for whatever reason, they know where you live. They know everything about you. I remember President Trump one time when he said that try not to depend on this service. Try not to do it. Go get a job, stand on your own 2 feet, and stay out of it. When he mentioned that the Clintons have blood on their hands, I didn't realize the extent of it until I didn't realize the extent of it until I started researching more and more and more. So the 1997 Act is what put this shit in place. When Trump was in office, go ahead and tell them, Cassandra.
He signed the first Family First Prevention Act, which helps families prevent them from getting into foster care before they actually do get into foster care. And it helps parents with substance abuse and stuff like that. Like they could get help before kids actually get taken from them. And then when kids do get actually taken from them, if they don't prevent it, they have kids and families have a longer period of time to get reunified rather than the 15 months that they usually give you and take your parental rights and whatnot. And then they put kids in therapeutic group homes, which I feel like is kind of a loophole, and it causes the regular foster homes not to get funded as long for keeping kids in foster care as long. So it makes them want to give the kids back because they're not getting funded or having the money for it anymore.
Exactly. When this started happening, I was like, wait a minute. It's weird. I didn't vote for him, to be honest with you. I was a Democrat. I swear on the Holy Bible. And I'm like, this is not right. This doesn't make sense. And I started researching more and more and more. And I found out that that man was actually trying to do something. So when the Democrats found out, then what they did was what? Started attacking them with Putin because he wanted to have peace with Putin. Now he's doing something, he's in cahoots with Putin. And then they started attacking his character. And I would believe and I would listen to them. And I'm like, but this doesn't make any sense until I started researching more and more and more. And I found out that actually Trump was the only one that's trying to do shit about CPS. And that's why he said for us not to depend on this fucked up system because the Democrats fight for it because it's easy money for them. The judge that was arrested, a judge, 66-year-old judge, was arrested on March 23rd for sex trafficking. And those children are foster children. Foster fucking children. A judge. A fucking judge. So when I say judges are stupid, because in juvenile court, they don't do shit but sit on the bench and they let the social worker run the show. Literally run the fucking show. So why aren't the social workers wearing black robes at the moment? Why aren't they sitting on the bench? That's my question. Can anyone fucking answer that? No one can fucking answer that. You're right. The judges don't even fucking know the law. They're fucking stupid.
They're just there to get paid.
They are. Yeah, that's it. They don't want to make a difference. They're so crazy. And really, honestly, family law is no different. It's no different. All of them are corrupt. All of them are corrupt. Do not allow the social worker in your home. I'm going to repeat this again. Courage is not the lack of fear. It is acting in spite of it. The only one that wants to inflict fear in your life is evil. When they laugh at you in court, that's evil. An evil person laughs at others' pain. Go and Google the definition of evil. Satan's purpose is to divide and separate and conquer. Separate you from your family, divide you from your children, and then conquer. To conquer you is to disable you. Disabling you by taking away your soul, your heart, the child from you. And then you become helpless, weaker. You can't get up. You want to numb the pain, so you go drinking yourself to sleep. You go taking pills to help you go to sleep. You can't function. He got you where he wants you, And the social workers look at you and say, look, he's damaged goods. He's no good. She's no good. And that's exactly what they do. But don't fucking give up. I know not everybody can afford an attorney, but understand the law. Know how to use the law. There's so many videos out there Mr. Davis has done. So many videos. I mean, this man, his brain is knowledge. When I listen to his videos, I start writing notes. I start educating myself. I mean, most of the things I've learned is from him.
It's key. You have to.
Yeah, it's very
If you want to do anything against them, you have to learn.
You have to learn to talk their language. You need to document everything. You need to start paper trail. Arm yourself with power and knowledge. Arm yourself with power and fucking knowledge. These motherfuckers count on you are stupid. Because you're an average person. You don't wake up one day and say, oh yeah, CPS is going to come knocking on my door today. Let me go ahead and get myself an attorney. No one starts their day by saying that. No one. So all of a sudden they come knocking at your door with false accusations and they take your children, etc., etc. Why do they not want to place the children with family members? Let me explain to you why, which it blew my mind. And that's why in my shows I yell, not yelling, but I talk passionately because they're fucking scumbags.
Oh, yeah.
They're scumbags. So this is what they do. They don't want to place the child in your family members. Why? Because they get funding when the child is adopted. They get more money. By removing a child and putting the child in a non-family home, they get money. More money. But when you put the child with family member or a placement, they don't make that much. Very, very small. That's not good enough for them. They have to keep the dollar flowing. Yeah, they have to keep this empire going. This is a protected empire. Protected fucking empire where the children are suffering because of these motherfuckers, right? These women and men who actually think they're human. They're not human. You can't fucking be human and steal a child from their fucking mother or their dad. You cannot be human when you treat children like merchandise. You have to be out of your fucking mind to actually steal a child from their fucking parents who work hard daily to take care of their kids, while other parents who abuse their own kids are left alone. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. So one time I asked an attorney in our office, said, why does this happen? That attorney said to me, because they're not adoptable. Damaged kids are not adoptable. But a healthy kid, a good kid, is adoptable and fixable. How? Brainwash them. Controllable. Brainwash them. Mom didn't show up to the visit today because she canceled. That's not true. But the worker canceled. The foster parent canceled. But the child doesn't know that because what they do, they buy the child gifts to keep them silent. They distract them with objects. And slowly they make them forget about their family. And then when the child is a little older, then they tell the child, oh, your dad did drugs, your mom did drugs, your mom is a prostitute, your mom was an alcoholic. And the child, as a child, a little kid, a 4-year-old, but mom didn't do that. Mom used to watch me all night when I'm sick, and she would cook for us, and dad would kiss my mom when after work. And the child would because they do have a memory bank. They do. It just opens up when they start thinking more and more as they advance in growth. So when they ask the foster mother questions, then she brings a fucking piece of paper out saying, oh, look at the report that the social worker wrote about your mom. But the report is all false. But a 4-year-old is like, wait a minute, was I missing something? And what does the 4-year-old do as they get older? Start numbing the pain. Numbing their pain. And you think that foster parent is going to care about the child running away?
Oh, no.
They don't give a fuck about that child running away.
Nope.
They're just going to move on to the next child.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. There is no love. No one is going to fucking love a child the way a mother loves her child.
They're saying they can't do anything about it if the child runs away, and then they don't even look for the child.
This person said, but understand that arming yourself with knowledge of law and policy will identify you as a problem and therefore make you a threat. Now, there's a language that the social workers speak. Like I said, you really need to learn this. It's called the do's and don'ts when falsely accused. The do's and don'ts when falsely accused. You need to Google that name. It's like this. And I think I put a link of that on my Facebook page as well. Okay? Google that and it tells you. It has really good information in there that should help you a great deal. You have to guide you guys. If you're not Christian, you might not understand what I'm about to say. But if you are, then you will understand this. Jesus even said, be as wise, be as innocent as dove, and as wise as a serpent. He didn't say be a snake. But he also said, be wise as a serpent. You're dealing with fucking snakes. You have to learn their language in order for you to protect yourself. You have to be 20 steps ahead of them. These motherfuckers are 10 steps ahead of you. You have to be 20 steps ahead of them. You need to know how to handle yourself in court. You need to know how to speak their language and use it in your day-to-day life, like every day. Use it so you can get used to it. I'm not saying go hurt them physically. I'm saying they're not used to you having that knowledge because they want everybody to be stupid. They want everybody to be numbed. They want everybody to be on drugs. They want everybody to be alcoholic because that brings them more business. And that makes them right. You're actually fucking proving them right. They're not going to say to the judge, oh, the reason the father is an alcoholic all of a sudden is because the father misses his daughter or his son. Right? The mother is drinking herself to death because she misses her child. She doesn't know how to cope with pain. But that father and mother was never on drugs before. But that's what Satan comes in your life to destroy you. Satan uses your weakest moment to hold you captive. Your weakest moment. The only weakest moment to a parent is the loss of their child. Their mother can pass away, their dad can pass away, their sister, their brother, their cousins, their best friends. It will never be as painful as stealing your own flesh and blood. Never. No one will understand that pain unless you walk in their shoes. So for those of you that judge, right, other mothers and parents who are fighting for their kids, it will happen to you one day. If you're a grandmother and you think it will not happen to you because your kids are older, guess what, Grandma? It's going to happen to your grandkids. Because, payback is a bitch. So don't judge no one unless you walk in their shoes. unless you walk in your shoes. So don't call my office and say, Georgette, my case is different. I'm a good mom. All the other moms are, bad mothers. I mean, seriously, I would either want to hang up on you or probably educate you my own way.
And
Because
if people
I've had
don't
a lot
think,
of calls like that. No, I've had a lot of calls like that.
yeah, if people don't think the system is broken, like there's so much like things going on that show and prove that this system is broken. Like there's so like in
Yeah.
Florida right now,
Yep.
in Florida right now, there is a DCFS worker that's under like investigation because of him not putting kids in the right placement.
Oh my God.
They're also, the whole DCF is under fire for the stabbing of that one social worker. Not only that, they just recently had a child return to his abuser and die. A 6-year-old boy.
Oh my God.
Had gotten taken from his mother and then was given back, and he was there for 6 months, I believe. And then no, he was taken in 2015, and then they gave him back to his mother and the 2 siblings, and they punished him by putting him in a cold shower. He became unconscious, and they left him for dead, and now they're both in jail being charged for his death. But that didn't have to happen if our system wasn't broken.
No.
That wouldn't have happened if our system wasn't broken. And it wouldn't happen to be a 9-year-old girl in a psychiatric locked facility for 223 days when she's supposed to be in a therapeutic foster home.
Yep. And what the fuck is a therapeutic foster home anyways?
That's the loophole I was telling you about.
Yeah. No, I'm just being,
my kid is in a therapeutic. It's for kids that have trauma. Okay, and the trauma is given from them.
Right.
And they're putting our kids in there so that way they don't have to put them in regular foster homes that are not getting funded anymore. Regular foster homes are not getting funded for a long period of time. So now they're going to tell you that your kid has a mental health issue or that they're having trauma. So they can put them in the therapeutic group homes to get reimbursed for the money they are spending. And that's what the loophole is in the whole First Family Prevention Act. As long as you could keep your kids out of the system, they're not going to get paid for it.
Exactly.
They're going to help you prevent it, but that doesn't mean that it's actually going to work.
Social workers
because
so
they're
fucking, not. They're. I swear, on the Holy Bible, these motherfuckers are the devil. They're the devil's playground. They really are the devil's playground. Because when I look at a social worker, I just want to vomit. I swear in the Holy Bible, I just want to vomit. Like, I watched a lot of videos on YouTube, and I'm like, I look at them. They're evil. You can sense they're evil. I kid you not. You can sense an evil person if you have discernment. You can sense them. You can feel the evilness in them. And what gets me is when they act so calm. But that's how an abuser is. They act calm. A narcissist acts calm. But what they want parents to do is open the door. That's very important. Open the fucking door. So that way they can get their foot in the door and say, oh, the mother said, the father said, the blah, 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 blah. Start taking pictures of the house to prove that she was in the house. That's why it's very important for you to speak their language, document everything. The reason the kids are traumatized is because CPS got them there. The kids were not traumatized when they went and stole the children in the middle of the fucking night because of false allegations. And they put them in an adoptive foster home because that adoptive foster parent was looking for a daughter or a son with blue eyes, blonde hair, or a mixed racial child that has curly hair, or hazel eyes, or olive complexion skin. How do you think they find these kids? Think about it. Think about it. When we all stand on our own 2 feet, right, on our own 2 feet, and we don't need the system for help, do you think they're going to have jobs? No. Nobody's going to want to resort to DPSS and food stamps and cash aid and all that. These city employees depend on the system to feed them. So they're going to make you look like you're a scumbag, even when you're not. They're going to make you do drugs, even when you don't. So wake up and start researching, start educating yourself, because you being asleep is not going to help you. So war
This
up.
stuff isn't really happening. Like
it happens every
be
day.
naive, so naive that you guys think this is not happening. It's really happening. They're like sex trafficking, freaking abuse in the foster. That's really happening, people. Like, it's no joke. Like, this is really happening. Like, open your eyes, see the signs. Like,
yeah,
these people are evil. Like,
they are,
and they think it's just fine. Like, and their numbers are doubling throughout the years. Like, doubling.
Read this. It says this a bit. This was a bit ago, but it said on average 700 kids a day. Try 17 or 1800 children a day. It's way more than that, if
like
not more now.
In the Florida thing, like DCF they placed 356 children statewide in inappropriate settings for an average of 55 days. And then in the court ordered note, in 2020, 314 wards were in psychiatric hospitals. Psychiatric hospital. Why do these kids need to be in psychiatric hospitals?
They all make money. They all make money. Psychiatrists, they depend on kids who are in the state custody.
And they're wasting more money.
Yes. That's exactly how they make money.
Mm-hmm.
And people question why you have to be. No, they say, no, this mother, I swear, I would never forget that these two ladies, when they told me that they're better mothers than the other mothers out there, and that Mr. Davis should take on their case pro bono, because they're not like the other mothers. And then I said, no, we're not going to do that. And I said, how do you know the other mothers are not victims? She said, no, I believe that these mothers probably did wrong. That's why they don't have their kids. I said, is that what you did? She said, I didn't do wrong. That's why I deserve to get a free case. And then she said, do you remember Cassandra when I did the special show?
Mm-hmm.
She said, that blew my mind. That woman, oh my God. She said, if you don't give me free services, I'm going to write bad reviews against your office. I said, okay, do it. Do it. Because what does that tell me? It tells me that you're the worst ever that I had to speak with over the phone. That you literally, if this is the way you behave with threats, that really speaks volume on who you are as a person. And that lady, those two ladies, they like literally their names, I still have them. I still have their names. I wrote it down to remind me on a daily basis how far people are willing to go by putting other women down and other fathers down who are fighting for their children. So, to me, I felt no remorse for this lady. And I told her, I said, I'm going to be a nice person. by educating you. I don't have to educate you because I have so many people to call, to reach out to. But I want to educate you because you seem like you're in the dark. Because all the mothers that I see and I speak with, they're all victims of CPS. I said, but the way you're threatening me, it makes me wonder if you're really the victim of CPS. And I left it at that. I left it at that. Because I don't take threats very easily. Cassandra, seriously, you've known me for a little bit. Michael known me for a long time. Do you really think I'm that kind of person? From
No.
what you know of me so far? It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're the president. I don't care.
Nope.
If you're
I
out of
know.
line, I will tell you. Huh?
I said I know that already, and I'm like, trust me, I know.
I will speak my mind no matter what. No
Which
matter
is
what.
great. That's one of the things I love most about you.
Thank you, Cassandra. But honestly, people sugarcoat shit. People you call a law office and they say this to you, they say that to you, they make you sound, whatever. I'll just say it how it is. If you don't like it, then go look somewhere else. But don't trash a law firm because you don't get what you want. Because it's your doing that got you where you are. And then you judge other mothers on top of that and other fathers to make yourself look like you're the better person, you're the better parent, and the other ones are just, they deserve their kids to be stolen from them. Well, I'm a one woman who doesn't deserve a child should be taken away from a father or a mother. The child needs to be with both parents. But oftentimes parents lie. They make false allegations because he or she doesn't want to pay child support, whatever the case may be. But who suffers is the child.
You need to stop treating your children like pawns.
Exactly. They're merchandise, not even pawns, merchandise. They're merchandise. So stop doing that to each other. And that's literally the biggest shit that parents go through. Before you choose a girlfriend in your life, after a divorce or a separation, remember, who you choose in your life is very important. Mm-hmm. Because that girlfriend can retaliate against you, can report you to DCFS, make a false report, and then you're fighting for your children or child. Vice versa with women. Know who you're bringing in your life. People, wake up. Wake the hell up. Because you guys are giving them the fucking ammunition to do this. And grandparents and aunts and uncles, I keep saying this over and over again, stop doing this to your own family. Because of money. Because oftentimes they're not going to place the kids with you. The kids are going into foster home. And you think you're doing the right thing, that's bullshit. Wake up. Child Protective Services is just a fucking name. It's not fucking real. They don't protect children. They don't reunify families. Their job is to fucking reunify families. Their motherfucking job is to steal, destroy. Steal, destroy. Steal, destroy. How many times am I going to do that? And again, people, what they do. Oh, I called Child Protective Services on my sister because I don't like her boyfriend. What the fuck? I went to the police. I reported her boyfriend to the police. Why did you do that? Because he vapes. He vapes what? He vapes, and I don't want him vaping. Then she goes, reports him to the police reports DCFS. And then you open the door to the devil and say, hey, welcome. Instead of you saying to the devil, you don't live here, you're telling him, hey, what's up?
Anybody who does that is just as bad as they are, basically.
No, it's some dumb shit. It's really stupid. Stupid. Like, I also hear things like a wife retaliating against her husband because he wants to watch the game. I said that before on my shows. Let him watch the damn game. Don't call the police and say he attacked you because you're mad at him. And then take your statement back, saying to the police, I was just mad at him because he's watching the game and I did that just to piss him off. They're not there to play games with you and your husband. But guess what? The kids are part of the game. And then all of a sudden, you and your husband have to call everybody. What? Everybody looking for somebody to help you with retainers. You're looking for attorneys. Your kids are not with you, etc., etc. All of that because of a game that your husband wanted to watch. You know, my dad and my mom used to say this: a nagging woman kills her husband. A nagging woman kills her husband. And so oftentimes, women and men, both together, they hurt each other intentionally because they hate each other. But they don't see the reason they were together to begin with. Well, who made the child? She didn't do it by herself. The wall didn't just come out with sperms and entered her and said, hey, you're pregnant. Give me a fucking break. Grow up. Because the children are the ones suffering. When you have a child, or 2 or 3 or 5, learn to communicate. Learn to make that child come first. If you're dealing with a narcissistic ex-spouse, then God help you. Because there is no reasoning with these motherfuckers at all. At all. There's a whole new, different dynamic of strategy when it comes to a narcissist parent. But when you deal with an angry father or a mother that they just don't like each other because whatever, some stupid reason, but they still like each other at the same time. It's complicated, they say. Try to deal only with each other pertaining to your child. Don't get jealous of the mom because the mother is dating. Don't get jealous of the dad because the dad is dating. Get to know his girlfriend. Become friends with her. If she becomes his wife, become friends with her. Why? Because she's with your child too.
Co-parenting is
not
key.
her fault that he chose her and she chose him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not her fault. And same thing with mothers. It's not with fathers. It's not her boyfriend or her fiance or her husband's fault that they chose each other. Learn to get along. Whether there's a stepmother, a stepfather, learn to get along. There should not be any resentment. Should not be any jealousy. All this bullshit is what brings this chaos in your life. Hanging out with the wrong people. You're in somebody's home. You don't know. And they slip drugs in your drink. Whatever. Water, juice, whatever. Coke. And then all of a sudden you're drugged out, blah, blah, blah. They call the ambulance, take you to the hospital. You have a child, they go and take your child. Because of somebody else did something to you. You know, learn to protect yourself. Learn to dedicate yourself to your kids. And all this partying and all this stuff has to stop. Because once you have children, they become your priority. It's not your friend, not your best friend, not your ex-boyfriend, not even your family. Meaning your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, they don't come first. Your kids come first. They're your priority. And to protect them and to guide them and to be an example for them. That's why these motherfuckers who are social workers, it's like a field day for them. It's like Disneyland. It's like they're walking into a department store choosing something. And then what they tell themselves, which is true, they tell themselves, oh yeah, you know who's looking for a baby like that? Do you remember so-and-so? Oh yeah. Let's go put her in that home. And then they go tell the parent, go do your classes. Well, they already know they're not going to return the child to them. Am I right, Cassandra?
Yep.
What do you want to say to everybody, Cassandra?
I just want everybody to know that not to be naive about the whole thing. Like, don't be naive. Don't think that this is not really happening. It is. It's happening everywhere. Every state, every county, everywhere. It's happening. Even in other countries, it's happening now. Like, all this stuff, it's really happening.
It is.
Like,
and people don't believe it though, Cassandra. I swear in the Holy
I
Bible,
know.
people talk to
And
me every day and they're like, I tell them, have you researched about CPS? No. Do you know anything
research,
about
make it aware, tell people about it.
Yep.
Say it loud. Like, do it. Like, tell people what's really going on. And
Yeah.
back yourself with research. Like, back yourself. So you have like sightings to like go off of, you know, like cite yourself, like really do some research and make a difference. Like, we need to get together and make a difference. This is so, like, I'm a non-offending parent. Like, I didn't have anything to do with what went on and to get my kids taken. Like, I found out about this way late. Like, my kids were already taken. I have no idea that they were taken. I didn't know where they were at. I had to wait 3 days.
They were with the father. They were with the father.
Yeah, they were with my baby's dad, and he got arrested. They broke down the door, raided his house. I got told by a mutual friend, that my kids got taken. Like, and I had to wait 3 days to find out where they even were because it was a holiday weekend.
Wow.
And prior to that, I think I was targeted. Like, CPS had came to my house 3 prior times. Since I knew my rights and I was smart and I was educated about it, they didn't take them. But soon as they found a weak spot, when I didn't have them, because they knew I'd fight, they took them. And they kept them because they knew. And then so they knew that I'd fight, they alienated me because they knew that I would fight. And they gave me all the opportunities to fail by taking me completely out of the picture for this whole time until they had nobody else to tell about the case because their dad got arrested again. And don't think that doing the classes is going to help you, because it's not. Because
because there's parents, let me interrupt you for a second. Parents can actually teach a social worker how to be a parent. They need classes. Go on, Cassandra.
Yeah. And in order for us to get our kids back, they told my baby's dad that he could get the kids back when he gets out of jail. He did the classes while he was in jail. He got out. They told him that didn't count. So he did the classes again. They promised him to give us our kids back in the following January, because they got taken in January of 2018. They said they'd give them back in January of 2019. That never happened. Why? Because he was drinking alcohol, which I didn't know was illegal to do when you're a parent and over the age of 21, for one. So apparently he was drinking alcohol, so they couldn't give us our kids back. Then they continued to promise to give our kids back, even though he did the classes. And I didn't do any of the classes, and I didn't do any of the stuff because I'm not admitting guilt. Because I didn't do anything. I wasn't there. I didn't know about any of the situation that was going on. I thought my kids were safe in the home of their dad and grandmother. And I had no clue what was going on. And I've never had a drug allegation in my life. And they told me I'm on drugs. They brought up past things about me and my mom. When my mom was being abusive towards me. But I need to take domestic violence classes. And I need to take drug NA classes and I need to take family parenting classes. When I already had parenting classes taken prior to having my kids, I had a certificate. I was in child development in college at the time too.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to take parenting classes because those didn't count. That didn't count.
Wow.
And now that I'm educated and I know my kids' rights as foster kids, because my kids are foster kids right now, they know their rights because I know their rights. I got a certificate from the actual abundance person saying that I know my foster care bill of rights and the prudent parent like guidelines. And I've been doing research and I've been getting knowledge, and I'm fighting still for my kids.
Yeah.
And I don't care what they say, I will get my kids back.
I'm so sorry, Cassandra. It's very extremely hard. It's very, very hard. I'm so sorry, baby. They leave parents so broken that I can honestly tell each and every one of you guys right now that what Bill Clinton did in 1997, when he meets his creator one day, he's going to wish he's never done that. What Hillary has done, she's going to wish one day she's never has done that she would never implement that. I mean, the things that I have learned about our government, it makes me vomit. I kid you not. The more that I learn about our government and how they operate, it makes me want to vomit. And that's why parents are desperate to get their children. I want to explain something to all of you guys out there. When you fight the Department of Child Services and you go to a juvenile court, do not ever think or ask a law firm how long will the case be. We don't know how long the case is going to take. You don't know how long the case is going to take. And there is no such thing. You're going to go to court one day and you're going to take your child back. There is no such thing. You don't go to court and say, hey, I want my child back. Okay, you're going to get your child back. This is state. They're in the jurisdiction of the fucking state and county. So there's a process that you have to go through. Your retainer is not going to be enough. Your retainer that you pay a private law firm that fights against the state is not going to be enough. It depends on how you handle your case. If you call a lot, that's draining your retainer. If you email a lot, that's draining your retainer. Court appearances, filing, all of that drains your retainer. So once you get in a case like this, you better believe it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. And oftentimes they don't even want you guys to do the GoFundMe. They don't want you to do that. I mentioned on my show, it's very important, there's a place called Momentum Funding. I left the number on my show earlier today, but let me get it again. Oh, man. Where is it? Here. The number is 866-534-4602. Again, the number is 866-534-4602 for Momentum Funding. They fund you for legal cases. But not every state is funded. Not every state. I think they said they don't do Nevada, Las Vegas, a few other states. I don't remember, but they do California, maybe Florida. I'm not sure. New York, New Jersey, but not all the state. Again, they're called Momentum Funding. 866-534-4602. And this is for and actually their catchphrase is if you need cash during a pending lawsuit. So you have to have a lawsuit pending, or you have to have a retainer going for a lawsuit, and then they fund you the rest of the retainer money that you need to continue on the lawsuit. Because even the lawsuit, oftentimes attorneys, they could, of course, we sue CPS. That's not a problem. But the attorney cannot keep paying out of pocket for everybody, right, until the case settles. Because it depends on when the case is going to settle. So there has to be a retainer put in to begin with for all the fees and the court appearances and everything that's required on the lawsuit. Mr. Davis said you can sue a social worker. If the child you have proof. Remember that I want you to have your phone during the visit? No phone, no pictures. They're so fucking retarded, mental piece of shits. I mean, like, not even retarded. I can't even say retarded. They're so, my God. What are they? Scumbags. Scumbags. Like, seriously, they're scumbags. They will say, don't take pictures, don't take your phone with you, don't do this, because they don't want you to have any evidence. Right? Oftentimes, a mother goes to a visitation and the child has a green eye, a blue eye. How did you get that? The child is not supposed to tell you. But if the child fell while she's in the mother's custody, you better believe they're going to charge the mother with abuse and neglect. But if the child has bruises on them from foster home, they're not going to do anything to the foster parent. And correct me if I'm wrong, Cassandra. Cassandra, can you hear me? Hello? Are you listening to me? You're like in another world. I know, but you heard what I said? They do not want any evidence of anything on the child because they know you can sue them. You can sue them if you prove to the attorney that there's concrete evidence and proof that the child is being abused. Sexually, mentally, physically, whatever. Now, that's why social workers don't want you to carry anything with you during the visits. So you don't have any way to get evidence. That's why it's very important to hire an investigator. I kid you not. It's very important to hire an investigator, people. It is.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that my social worker is so lazy that all he wants to do is text. He doesn't answer his phone ever. He just texts me.
Really?
Yeah. So everything he says is in text message form.
And then?
So when he's telling me certain things that keeping some stuff out of because when my daughter ran away, she got brought to me by her old foster mom and said, oh yeah, we'll just tell Chaz that you have her. And he's like, oh, well, we want to keep that quiet. In the court, we don't want to tell him that she came to you.
Oh my God.
And then in the report, the report was I don't know. It was contradicting. Her psychiatric report was contradicting, saying that she wanted to be with certain people, but then it's saying she didn't. It's just all mixed up. They contradict themselves, and it's all in writing. And I know that.
But even if they contradict themselves on writing, Mr. Davis handled a case before where the social worker, he, of course, with his knowledge and ways, he tricked the social worker. Somehow she lied and she said the truth. Get it? She contradicted herself. That social worker, the judge knows she was lying, and she wasn't fired. She was given a raise. She had a raise. She was promoted because she covered her supervisor's ass. So when you don't snitch on the state and the county, you get a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
That's how fucked up our government is. It is. So all I can tell you is this. You guys need to get together. You have to come together. Bashira said that right here. We gotta come together so strong, y'all. We are gonna build a team so big they cannot tear innocent parents down like this anymore. I am so 100% on board with you. And I keep telling everybody that. The group of mothers that I wanted to bring together and start protesting in LA, California, they kind of backed off at the last minute. And they didn't want to go through with it. And what I'm trying to tell you guys is that we all need to stand together. I don't care if you guys are Democrats, Republicans, independent parties, it doesn't matter. Right now, we need to stand together. Even if you're not dealing with a CPS case, you need to unite together. Because just because it didn't happen to you doesn't mean it's not going to happen to you. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen to your kids. It doesn't mean shit. It will.
And that doesn't mean anything. These are children that are, these
Yeah.
are children. Like anybody should understand these are kids that are being traumatized, that are being hurt, who are being put in bad situations worse than they were or ever have been. Think of the children, our future. Like, come on, people. Like, it's sad that nobody is like even saying anything about it, you know? Like, it needs to be heard. These are our children. They need help.
And oftentimes they tell children in foster home, you're bipolar. They're not bipolar. The child is not bipolar, but they made him bipolar.
My kid is apparently having social anxiety and is ADHD, but shows no signs of it. So
yeah, she had no signs of it when she was with Cassandra. All of a sudden, she's going through that.
But social anxiety, I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to be around anybody either in this time of age and whatever.
When you steal a child from their mother, you're creating the distance. You know, she's disconnected from the world. And then they blame the mother for it. There was a psychiatric report that was done on a mother, and the therapist said the psychiatrist told the court, juvenile court, it's detrimental for you to remove the children from their mother and to return the children immediately to the mother. The children developed they didn't want to be social. They always sit in the corner. They don't want to talk to anybody. All of that because you stole them from the only thing they know is their mom. And then they blame the mother for what the children are going through. When in reality, it's the father who is a sociopathic, narcissistic piece of shit who actually did that to the mom. So there's so many stories to tell. And, you know, each and every one of you guys, be strong. Don't give up on your kids. we need to get together and stand up for everybody. We need to stand up against this corruption with CPS. They're fucking corrupt. And these motherfuckers go out and party too, you know. They party, they drink, they do drugs, by the way. They fucking do drugs. Some of them have DUIs. But they're still working for the county. They're working for the state. Why? There's attorneys that have criminal records against them. But they still work for the state. They're using the state, not the bar. Get it now? So they do whatever the state tells them to do. They can't just go independently and go work in another law firm with all this against them. So the state uses them. You know? A demon will always choose another demon. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Demon cannot choose a holy person to do their bullshit. So the show came to an end. I know Cassandra cannot be with me tonight because she has to work, but my other show is Relatives Fight CPS at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys can join me if you like. God bless you all. And Cassandra, I'm so sorry again, baby girl. And you know already what I'm doing, so
Yeah.
just be patient, okay? I love you guys. Love you, girl. Talk to you soon.
Love you.
Love you too.